here, but we'll just wait 1 minute. I just want to get sure that everyone can hear me and see me in case if something is not working properly.
Everything's fine so far.
Very good, thank you. So I hope it will stay like this. And just let me apologize for the sound. Maybe my neighbor is working right now and repairing something at home. So I don't know, he just wanted to focus on my webinar, but just let me apologize for the sound. Maybe it will come or not come, I don't know, but just let me apologize for this in case it happens. Yes, and first of all, thank you a lot for coming for my webinar for web application penetration testing today. And I already shared my screen. We will start with a small introduction about myself, and then we will discuss the points about web application penetration testing. Yes, and just let me show you the agenda for today. So just mind if I'm looking at this side because I have two screens. So just don't be confused. I am with you, but just looking at the other side of my screen. Yes, and as you see here, we have the agenda for today. It should be around 30 or 40 minutes. And we'll start with a small introduction about myself. Then we will talk about what is a web application generally before getting into the part of real hacking of web applications and trying to see the vulnerabilities in web applications. Okay, I see someone is playing here around. Please just don't do anything on the screen because it will pop up here on my screen. So please just see and hear what I am saying without playing on the screen. Thank you. Yeah. Just let me see. Okay, thank you. Yeah, then we'll get a bit deeper in how hackers attack websites, attack web applications, start to find vulnerabilities, start to find some issues on the website which can cause to really take over the whole web application and hack it. This is exactly what I mean. If you already heard it, he's working hard. So for this, I apologize again. Yeah, then we'll discuss about common use tools for web application penetration testing to try finding vulnerabilities in an easy way and in an automated way, which is not always the whole process of penetration testing part. There is also another process which has to be done manually, but we'll get to this later. Yes, then we'll discuss common found vulnerabilities and try to do it by our own. I mean, I will show it to you by the in the demo part where we will see the discussed vulnerabilities. And yeah, this should be the agenda for today. So let me start with the self-introduction, as I told you. Yes, I don't think I can remove this, but this is no problem. Yes, so my name is Ahmed Hassan. I started my career in the cybersecurity field generally in 2019. As you can see here, the first cybersecurity certification which I got was 2019, which was the CH, Certified Ethical Hacker certification. It was a very good beginning into the part of ethical hacking and penetration testing. You get a general knowledge about the penetration testing part and also malware analysis, blue teaming. So you have from every part a bit of knowledge in this book or in these chapters. So you get a general knowledge about the cybersecurity and the penetration testing part and career and paths. Yeah, then I got my other, so I got lot of cybersecurity certifications, and then I focused on the part which is really on hand. So you have to practice and to do the exam by yourself by applying reports or not only multiple choice questions. You have to do it manually and try really to hack a web application and find vulnerabilities in so you can pass the exam. So I decided to start with the easiest one, which is the Junior Penetration Tester exam or course. And it was really helpful to start seeing how attackers try to find vulnerabilities to attack web applications, but not only web applications, try to attack, for example, mobile applications or desktop applications, which is today, of course, out of scope, but I just mentioned it by this in this session. Yes, and this was my small starting in the cybersecurity career. Just let me do this. Okay. Screen is not visible. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Can you, I think now it's visible, right? Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, as we discussed before, what is a web application? A web application is used for different purposes. I mean, especially in the time of Corona, everything is focused now online, and therefore using web application and mobile applications to try to investigate in the new world of presentation and getting customers online like Instagram and so on, to just show the customers what I have and also the possibility to let them buy products online. This can, for example, include a website for a company or a shop presenting their products, from where you can select specific products and pay or buy products online. This content of their business through their published websites can also face some vulnerabilities. But did they think about the security or any weakness points of their web application, because it may harm their system by, for example, a remote code execution vulnerability or taking over a whole website. This is a very important point, which not all the companies in the world think about. They just publish their website. Okay, I am very happy. The customers can reach my website, and here we go, without really testing against any vulnerabilities, without thinking about a bad malicious hacker who can try to manipulate or take over their website. So a small example, what if an attacker could try to buy some products and change the price, for example, from $100 to $1 by buying 5 or 6 products? This is, first of all, called business logic error vulnerability. It's not a real technical vulnerability, but this has to be done manually. And this is also, of course, a vulnerability which can harm the system. And there are also other vulnerabilities, which we'll discuss today. But this is a small example what vulnerabilities can harm your system. And therefore, we just need the penetration testing or the web application penetration testing. This was just a simple example where small or even big companies can be affected. I think you also have the knowledge about the bug bounty programs from big companies, from Huawei, from Yahoo, from very, very big companies. And this shows us that nobody is really secure against finding vulnerabilities in their infrastructure or web application. Every company, even it's a real big company, can be affected from attacks and web application vulnerabilities. And therefore, we can also see a lot of leaks from Telegram, from any kind of social media platform, where you can find leaks from Facebook, from Twitter, from any kind of company. So this is a very important point to know the first beginning. So the next step, how hackers attack the web application. Okay. So we discussed generally what a web application is. The next point will be how hackers or security researchers can identify various vulnerabilities in web applications. So let me first of all explain the meaning of the word vulnerability in case of you didn't hear it before, because but I don't think nobody knows this word because you are all experienced or starting a penetration tester, so you know what this word means, but I will just explain it quickly. The word vulnerability means the attacker can find and exploit misuse of a weakness in a system. Through this weakness, he can do some malicious points, like, for example, getting access to the admin user and other kind of vulnerabilities which can harm the system or the web application in this case. Like I said before, instead of paying $40 for a product, he tried to pay it for $1. And this is a weakness point in a payment system of a web application. Through this vulnerability, the attacker was able to identify a weakness point in the payment system of this company and get advantage of it, and finally buying product with a lower price, which is also a vulnerability and therefore a loss for the company, because instead of buying it for $40, you can buy it for $1. This is a misuse of this payment method. So as you can see, we just talked about two or three examples. There are many web application vulnerabilities which can be identified through penetration testing, because you have this penetration testing exactly for securing the web application. And of course, we can just um, talk about them all, but we will just talk about the general and most common vulnerabilities. We will also have a demonstration of two vulnerabilities. And if we also have more time, I will show you a tricky and a nice vulnerability, which I was able to find in Huawei. I also showed it in the acknowledgement, but let me just start with the presentation, and at the end, we will show it again. So, yeah, the process of automating the penetration testing, we have some tools, because you can't just do the penetration testing part manually. You need some automation process so you can run them and try to reduce the time of manual inspection or manual penetration testing of a web application by using them. But here we also have to mention that the penetration testing part is not only the automation part. You need to try to find vulnerabilities manually, because not the automation tool or the automation tools can't find all the vulnerabilities. This is a very important point which I have to mention. So they help us to find vulnerabilities, but we can't just forget the manual part of penetration. Therefore, we have three, and there are also other automation tools, but I just wanted to mention them. First of all, Nessus, which I think almost everyone in the penetration testing part knows it. And then we have Akinetics and Burp Suite, which is an automation tool, but also a manual tool. And it's very necessary to use Burp Suite in the penetration testing part, especially when you are doing a web application penetration testing. Okay, I just want to make sure that everybody is hearing me right now. Is everybody working the screen and my sound, or do you have any problems hearing me?
Okay, you are.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes. Very good, very good. I am happy to hear that. Yeah, so just let me continue without doing other stuff. Yes, and this is a small picture of showing the tool Nessus. I will not have the possibility to do a real demo of Nessus, but it's very easy. Nessus is designed to give the tool the IP address or the host name of a web application, which we are focused on now. And then the tool which you can see here will try to find vulnerabilities and find, for example, hidden endpoints, some cross-site scripting vulnerabilities and other vulnerabilities, but we can't get sure that they can find all the vulnerabilities, okay? And yeah, Nessus is generally a very famous tool for penetration testing, not only web application penetration testing, web infrastructure penetration testing, mobile application penetration testing, and so on. Yeah, and as I said, but the purpose of this or the purpose of mentioning that is that Nessus is used for different kind of pen testing, not only web application penetration testing. Yes, and it helps also identifying some risks, but it definitely needs manual testing to find all other vulnerabilities, which needs manual confirmation, like playing with the price to get some products with a lower price. So Nessus is very easy to use. As I said, you just have to add a real IP address or the host name of a web server or a web application. Then you just will wait for the scan results. Okay, 1 second. I think my screen should turn. Okay. As you can see, can you see my screen right now?
Yes. Yeah.
Just let me pull this here. Yeah, and Nessus is not free to use tool. It's a commercial tool. You just can download it for free and then try to use it for, I think, 12 times to scan a website, and then you will ask to buy it, and it costs I think $3,000 per year. This is not easy for a normal person like me and you to buy it, but all companies or all big companies are getting these tools to try to defend or find vulnerabilities in their web application and infrastructure also. So this is the first tool. Let me introduce you the second tool, which is Akinetics. And Akinetics is extremely designed for finding vulnerabilities in web applications. So it just scans web applications, and as you can see here, find several vulnerabilities like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and so on. Directory listing, where you have or where you are able to list directories, as the name is telling you. And it's also very, very easy. You just have to go to scans and then try to find or try to find the IP address or the host name of the web application, and then try or let the Akinetics tool start investigating in this and start to find vulnerabilities. So it's not so hard as it should be, or as I heard, because somebody is asking me about how these tools are working. They are very easy to use, and you don't need a lot of knowledge about how they work. Yeah. So this is the second tool, which is also very, very automated. So you don't need to do. Yes. So in the screen here or in the chat, Alvice, sorry if I don't spell it right. telling me Nessus use only for vulnerability assessment part, not for penetration testing. You're absolutely correct, because we are using it also, or the companies are using them for vulnerability assessment as well, because they are using it weekly or monthly for verifying them. But also the companies which are doing penetration testing are using them. So you are correctly right. Both of them are using them for different purposes, like vulnerability assessment, but also penetration testing. But as you told me right now in the chat, vulnerability assessment is also a very, very important point. Thank you. Yes, so we just finished the part of kinetics. And then just let me come to the best part of this section in the automation process of web application penetration testing, but also manually, Burp Suite. Burp Suite, okay. Oh, what do you mean exactly with VA, or if you don't hear me? Okay, I will just now vulnerability assessment. Yeah, I told it. Yeah, exactly. Vulnerability assessment. Right. Okay. So Burp Suite is. Oh, sorry. Can everybody please mute himself so we don't have this kind of interruption? Thank you very much. Now, man, would you please close your mic, because I think we are hearing you. Thank you very much, Nauman. Very good. Okay. So the part of Burp Suite, as I told you, is used for the automation process and also for the manual process. And the Burp Suite is like a man in the middle. Just let me explain it like that, because it intercepts every request and everything going to the web application, and you can modify it in in the middle as man in the middle, and see which responses and requests and responses you are sending, and getting to identify possible vulnerabilities. So with Burp Suite, we have countless possibilities. Identifying vulnerabilities is also very helpful, because you can do it automatically as well as manually. So you can let the Burp scanner run automatically, and beside that, test the web application also manually. For example, for searching cross-site scripting vulnerabilities in specific headers, like or searching for host header injections and so on. This is a very powerful tool for just searching for some weakness points. Okay, yeah, otherwise I will come to this at the end of my presentation. So we'll have question part, so we don't leave the Burp Suite side. So just keep it in your mind and remember me at the end, okay? So I'm just getting, I don't think, a lot of time, but we will just finish as soon as possible with the presentation. Yeah. So any professional pen tester is working generally with Burp Suite. You can see all the requests and responses, do much more with this tool than just scanning the web application with Nessus for Akinetics or any other kind of automation tool. And this is a big difference between Burp Suite, Nessus, and Akinetics, and also other automation tools. But we also need to mention that the automation process of these tools is necessary, like the business logic error vulnerabilities, or for example, trying to get some vulnerabilities in changing the price. This can't be done by any automation process. This has to be done by a penetration tester, and manually try to change the price and see if it's vulnerable to business logic errors or vulnerabilities. vulnerabilities or not. So the penetration testing or the web application penetration testing part is a good mix between automatic scanning and manual scanning or manual penetration testing. This is the good methodology about of a real and professional penetration testing. Yes. So we covered right now. Yes. Thank you, Danish. Yeah, there are a lot of other vulnerabilities which can be automated, like you told Danish, or you wrote it. Danish wrote me, or generally also access control issues can be automated, which is definitely a correct answer. So you have a lot of other issues which can be automated and need to be manually penetrated or do the penetration testing manually. Yeah. And here we are coming to the part of the demo time, but first of all, let me introduce the two vulnerabilities which we will talk about. There are the XSS cross-site scripting vulnerability and HTML injection. The two vulnerabilities are kind of no problem, no problem. Kind of injection vulnerabilities. Yeah, and let me just quickly, this is a part of demo time, okay. Quickly introduce the cross-site scripting vulnerability before getting to the demo time. XSS or cross-site scripting, this is kind of injection vulnerability where the attacker can try to inject various kind of JavaScript code which will get run on the web application. And this lets the attacker, for example, try to get the cookies of an admin user or try to doing other malicious things. We generally have three kinds of cross-site scripting. We will not just explain them all, but just let me mention them. We have the reflected cross-site scripting, the stored, and the DOM-based XSS. Reflected, that means that it will run one, as the name says, it will be stored on the web application server, and you don't need to send it to anyone. It will just automatically run in case of any user opens this web application or this site. Yeah, this is a general introduction of cross-site scripting. And the next part, which is HTML injection, is generally used for making websites looking better. So you can play with the colors, with the size, and therefore letting the web application also send the user to another website if it's vulnerable to HTML injection. Yeah, of course. DOM generally, without getting deeper in it, DOM-based XSS is a client-side vulnerability. I mean, cross-site vulnerability, cross-site scripting vulnerability, which is very hard to find, but it just runs on the client side, so in the web browser. So it's not working on the web server. It's just working on the web browser, but I will just will not get deeper in it because it's a little bit complicated. So the difference between normal XSS and DOM-based XSS is that DOM-based XSS is client-side on the Firefox, for example, and the other vulnerabilities runs on the web server itself. Yes, and HTML injection is something like if I can forward a user to another website, or for example, yeah, it's very cool. Yeah. Yeah, and don't worry, I will show it you after that. I will just finish my explanation, and then we will jump to the demo time. Yeah, and this malicious website is administrated by the attacker, and therefore an attacker can just let the user or the someone who is searching something on on this vulnerable website, just let him be forwarded through an HTML injection to another website. And therefore, for example, asking for credentials, login data, for example. And this is a small kind of HTML injection. Yes, and this is just a quick explanation of these two vulnerabilities. I mean, it will be, of course, good to read about them after the session to just get deeper in them and understand the working process of them. So we will come now to the to the best part of the lab. I think you all like the practice part, not only the talking part. And we have a good website, which is called testphp1web.com, which is made from Akinetics, the automation tool which I presented before. Yeah, just let me see if we got this. Okay, I will just close this one here and go to my Firefox. This is exactly the website. Don't worry, you can try on it. You can run scanner, but please not now because it may go down. It's not very strong and doesn't have any web application firewall. So just do it after our session so the web application doesn't go down. But this is just for demo purpose or training purpose. Everyone can try on it in case he or she doesn't have a real web application to try on it. Yeah, so just let me show you the first kind of cross-site scripting vulnerability, which is reflected cross-site scripting. I will show you the HTML injection, don't worry. And this will be something like this. Here we have, for example, a part where we can give anything. And if a malicious hacker or someone who is trying to find vulnerabilities, just type in JavaScript code as you can see here, for example, script alert, and then please show me the number 1. So we can see if JavaScript code get accepted and run on the web application or not. And if it's accepted and will run on the server, we'll see a number 1. Yes, and as you can see, you can see here a number 1, which indicates that the web server is accepting JavaScript code and let us run JavaScript code. And this is very, very dangerous because it's not only used for using a pop-up. This just shows us that the web server is accepting JavaScript code, but you can, for example, use a crafted payload to get the cookies of an admin of another user, and then try to get their cookies and change it in the web browser and be the admin. And this is a web application takeover. Through this, you can just manipulate the user and get over an account. Yes, and as you can see, I just want to show you these points, but we will discuss them after that. What are the risks of finding HTML injection and cross-site scripting vulnerabilities? And the other part, which is the stored XSS, as you can see here, I am logged in, and you have, for example, a guest book where you can just type any comment. And if this comment is saved on the web browser and you just close the website or go to another endpoint and open it again, it will be saved here. And just let me type this, but I'm not sure it will be saved or not, and add message. Okay. Okay, I think it's not working right now. Okay, just let me log out and then log in again. Maybe it would work. Thank you very much. I want to log in. And this is the idea behind reflected and stored XSS. And as you can see here, the web application is not really working properly because it's made for this, to find vulnerabilities and try to exploit them. Just let me try to log in again. I hope it works. And as you can see here, you have test and test. Just let me type test, then test, enter. Okay, we are logged in. And when we go to the guest book to try to type or put in any malicious or JavaScript code, let me add the message. I hope it works. Okay, I don't know why it's not working, but normally it should be, I think I know it because I just forgot the single quote. Let me just copy this. Yes, as you can see here, the single quote was the process or the point which the JavaScript code was not running. And as you can see here, the code runs normally, which is not here saved. This could be saved on the web application, and when I go to another website and come back again, it should run. And this is exactly the part of a stored XSS or a stored cross-site scripting vulnerability. It's of course more dangerous than the normal reflected cross-site scripting vulnerability. Yeah, and at the end we have the HTML injection vulnerability. This is a very similar vulnerability, but the difference between the cross-site scripting and the HTML injection vulnerability is that we can run HTML code. And HTML code simply starts generally with A and with A in contrast with the JavaScript code, we generally start with script and then type anything and end it with script. This is the difference. And when we here, for example, try to understand the code, we're just trying to tell him when I will let you pop up this text here, click here, please. And when I try to open it, please send me to the website https://evil.com. https://evil.com is just not a fake website, but it's a website for just seeing if this redirection will work or not. Okay, so just let me close this, and if I go here, for example, type 1 for test, you can see here it's a normal text and it's like searched for. But what if I try to type HTML injection or try to type this HTML code and see how the output will be? Let me try enter. As you can see, it's normally like this searched for, but the one when I tried or I typed the number 1, I was not able to go to this link. Let me try it again. 1, it's a normal number. I can't do anything with it. I can't go to a website. I can't browse it. But when I try to type HTML code, as you can see, https://evil.com. Down below, as you can see here, on the left side, as you can see the website, https://evil.com. And when I try to open it, I will just open it in a new website. As you can see, it works. Exactly. Misbah, I'm sorry if I just spelled the name not correct. It's a hyperlink href, exactly, and will just be redirected to a malicious website where a user can just download malicious content on the user's laptop or user's PC, and moreover. So we have a lot of ideas to use this kind of vulnerability, but this is just a small explanation about it. Okay, just let me close this one. Yes. just let me continue my PowerPoint presentation. Common vulnerabilities, we discussed it. Yeah, and as you can see here, the demo time we just did it very quickly to just get a general overview about it. As you can see, the usage of these vulnerabilities can impersonate the victim's user, carry out any action that the user is able to perform, so any malicious action, read data, capture login credentials, perform virtual defacement, so you can take over the website and place malicious content from yourself on this website, and of course inject Trojan functionality on this website. So it's very, very dangerous to have some of these vulnerabilities. Yeah, and as you can see here, I just wanted to show you the cross-scripting vulnerability which I was able to find in Huawei. It was very easy. I mean, not easy to find because I just created a user and then tried to upload image for my profile, and then I was just really not getting the point that I was able to upload JavaScript code, and I really tried it and it worked. And when I tried to open my profile picture, which was JavaScript code, it ran. And as you can see here, a subdomain of Huawei.com exists as cross-site scripting vulnerability by me. Exactly. And this was an HTML injection vulnerability also in the same subdomain from Huawei. It was accepting me to upload HTML code as a profile picture or as an image, which was also a file upload vulnerability, which is also out of scope today. But from this vulnerability, I was able to find this HTML injection vulnerability. Yes. And just to show you how I found a real in a real environment, which was in the Philippine government website, cross-site scripting vulnerability. I just want to show you the demo of it. So let me just thank you for your time attending this webinar of web application penetration testing. And I will just, at the last point, show you my video, okay? And then we'll just have 15 minutes to discuss any questions or points you want to ask about, or if you didn't understand any points which I have discussed before. So just let me try to find my video. Just let me please stop it for a moment, okay? In the meantime, you can just write any points or any questions you have in the meantime where I'm searching the video. Okay, I think I got the vulnerability. Just let me see one moment. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, I hope you can see my screen right now. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. This is a small cross-site scripting vulnerability which I was able to find in the Philippine government web application. It's an easy one, but I just wanted to show you how you can go for searching for cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. And here I was able to find it in a specific form, which I think is last name, I'm not sure, but let us see it together. I tried it in all of them, and then I got the cross-site scripting pop-up, which like I showed you before. Yeah, just let me show you the real proof of concept on this video. Yes, I typed in the last name, the password, and the username was vulnerable to cross-site scripting, so you can run JavaScript code on the username pop-up. And as you can see, I give everything needed here to pass the form. Yeah, and there was also a capture. Okay, and let us see what will happen right now when I, okay, the password, I will just go through, and as you can see here, when I register, as you can see, XSS pop-up cross-site scripting popped up, and I was able to find a vulnerability. And don't worry, the vulnerability is already mitigated, and they already know it, and took the website down because they don't need it again. But this is, and it was a stored XSS because it still exists, as you can see here. When you refresh the website, it's here. So it's reserved, or as you can see, stored XSS. It's saved on the web application server itself, and anybody, real admin user, anybody who will search this website, the JavaScript code will run on his user, and then we can just, for example, steal the cookies of an admin and take over. Yeah, and that was exactly the whole webinar about web application penetration testing. I hope it was very useful for you, and you had also fun hearing and seeing my presentation. And yeah, we will now have 10 minutes or 15 minutes if you want for questions. So we can just get deeper into any points which you can, or which you didn't understand or want to know about them. So from now we have 10 minutes for questions. So no, Khaled and all, I thank you for your time attending this webinar. Thank you very much for hearing it to the end, for attending, for taking from your time, and leaving a good moment for me to remember. So I had a lot of people attending my webinar, so it's very happy for me. And yeah, thank you very much for attending that. And yeah, you can just ask me whatever you want. Thank you very much. Yeah, I see Ali has the first question. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Ali is asking, a good programmer with a CC degree, which is if you want to start this field should focus on. Okay, and yeah, just one by one, please. The questions are a lot. Yeah, a good start in this cybersecurity field with, I would recommend to start with the e-learn security part if you just want to get hands-on experience. E-learn junior penetration testing certification. It will be very good to have general knowledge about it. and start in this part, and then just go one by one. For example, junior penetration tester, and then professional penetration tester, web application penetration tester, and so on. And by the time you will get more experience, maybe get a job as a junior penetration tester, and then work higher and higher. Yeah, the next question is which one is best according to you, Zap or Burp Suite for web pen testing? I just generally use Burp Suite. I know Zap is also a very powerful tool, but I generally use Burp Suite. Maybe it's you have to pay for it, of course, but Zap is for free. So if you don't want to pay a lot for that, you can just use Zap also. It's also a very powerful tool, but I generally use Burp Suite. Okay, between CH and EGBT, which one should I go for? Someone I would recommend to get or to start with EGBT, because EGBT is a real on experience and certification. CH is a little bit generally and just only I just didn't I forgot to share my camera again to see you. Yeah, just let me open my open the chat. Where is it? Yes, EGBT is as I told you more on experience. CH is just focusing on the general information, general knowledge, multiple choice questions, and therefore I will just recommend you to go for EGBT. Yeah, as a beginner, how to start from zero with no knowledge to be a web penetration tester, which is the right path to start with. Yeah, as I told you, just can just go for the EGBT as a starting. It's very good. You will get general knowledge about it, and then just go for the web application penetration testing, professional penetration testing. Its content is very helpful for the beginning. You will just get more knowledge and more about hacking mindset and methodology. And yeah, one by one, you will get, for example, projects to work on, a little bit bug bounty, and then you will get more knowledge and more vulnerabilities found, and then you will pass the part of the beginning in this cybersecurity field. Yes, of course. I would also recommend you to do try Hack Me and Hack the Box. These are very helpful because you get a lot of other mindset and other vulnerabilities found by trying them, which are not always in the real scenario. So there are also very good parts to work on and to get knowledge. Yes. Yeah, who else? I think I missed one question, or did I answer all the questions until now? No problem. You're welcome. You're welcome. I also accept, of course, anybody on LinkedIn because we have to connect, and we are a small part, or cybersecurity field is a very small part, and we just need to connect to have good connections with the people and so on. So for everyone, welcome. It was a pleasure for me to have you here on my webinar and also connect on LinkedIn. So thank you. Of course. Yeah, how much it doesn't depend on how, I mean, it doesn't depend on the course itself. It depends on how you learn, how you investigate your time, how you understand it quickly, and therefore I can't just tell you for now how long it will be. It just depends on many other factors. So therefore I don't have a really strict answer for this question, but it should be not very difficult if you try and learn and keep moving on. Yes, so at the end, if nobody has any question, I will just say again, thank you for coming and seeing my webinar and hearing and seeing the presentation. I hope we'll see us, or I will see you again in any webinar or any time, penetration testing, bug bounty, any other conferences soon. And hope you're safe and enjoy your life, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Thank you very much.